Ever wonder why certain people fall head over heels for you specifically? Have you ever stopped to think about what's behind that almost magnetic pull some feel toward you? Is it your looks that reel them in, your charm that keeps them hooked, the way you talk, or maybe something far deeper, something unseen yet incredibly strong? Carl Jung, one of the most brilliant minds in 20th century psychology, had a fascinating take on this. He believed love isn't some random fluke. According to him, people don't fall for you as an individual so much as they're drawn to what you unknowingly represent in their minds. Jung argued there are just two profound reasons someone might catch feelings for you, and both are rooted in the mysterious, shadowy corners of the human psyche. In this video, we're diving into Jung's powerful ideas, like projection, anima, and animus, to unpack why people gravitate toward you. It's not about your outer self, it's about what they glimpse inside themselves through you. We'll explore the unconscious forces steering romantic attraction and reveal the two core reasons you end up at the heart of someone's affection. These reasons go way beyond surface traits like appearance or personality. They're tied to the hidden framework of the soul, including parts people don't even realize they carry. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button for a healthy mind. Now, let's get started. Love's hidden logic is where this all begins. We tend to picture love as this magical, unpredictable thing, a spark that ignites out of thin air. But Carl Gustav Jung saw it differently. To him, it wasn't chaos or chance, it was the result of a deep, internal order shaped by the unconscious mind. What feels like a sudden connection isn't usually random at all. It's more like the outcome of a quiet, ongoing process, emotions pushed aside, experiences buried, unspoken desires, and needs left unmet. Behind every moment of attraction, there's a structure at play, an almost sacred design within the psyche. This invisible architecture guides us towards some people while steering us past others. That's where Jung drops one of his big concepts, projection. Each of us carries inner images, pieces of who we've been, who we are, and who we long to become. A lot of these pieces get forgotten, shoved away, or ignored, but they don't vanish. They linger in the shadows of our unconscious, waiting for the right moment to surface through someone else. When we cross paths with a person who somehow vibes with these hidden parts, we feel an intense pull. It might seem like destiny or magic, but really, we're not falling for them, we're falling for our own reflection bouncing back through their presence. Picture this, someone who's spent their life closed off, keeping their emotions under lock and key, scared to let anything show. Then they meet someone vibrant, open, and bold, someone who speaks from the heart without hesitation. The attraction hits fast and hard. But it's not just admiration at work here. It's an inner echo. That lively person stands for a strength sleeping inside the guarded one, a strength they haven't tapped into yet. The pull feels real because it is, but its roots dig into the unconscious, craving wholeness and growth. Or flip it around, someone might be drawn to you not for your obvious qualities, but because you mirror something they're missing. Maybe you represent courage, warmth, freedom, clarity, or a depth they yearn for in themselves. You're not just a person to them, you're a living symbol, a reflection of a lost piece they need to feel complete. That's the first reason, you embody what they lack. It's not just about opposites attracting, it's about opposites shining a light on inner gaps, parts of their world that got buried, ignored, or never fully shaped. Think of it this way, a super logical person might feel an unstoppable tug towards someone emotional, someone who feels everything deeply and isn't afraid to show it. A quiet introvert might find themselves captivated by an outgoing extrovert, as if their soul's crying out for connection and light. Or someone who thrives on routine and order might be swept away by a free-spirited, unpredictable soul. That fascination, though, comes with a catch. If they don't realize what's really drawing them to you, if they don't see that this quality they adore is already a seed within them, love can slide into something trickier. It turns into dependency. They're not holding on to you as a person, they're clinging to the part of themselves you unknowingly bring to life. It's not love in the pure sense, it's a lifeline to something they haven't claimed yet. And if their needs shift, or if you show your real, human side and break their perfect image of you, that connection can crumble fast. Things can start unraveling fast, and that's the tricky trap of projection. It spins this vivid, electric illusion of connection, something that feels unshakable, but it's often built on shaky ground, rooted in psychological needs rather than genuine closeness. When that illusion fades, as it inevitably does over time, the love tied to it begins to slip away. Carl Jung didn't stop at projection, though. He dug even deeper, into a place where love turns into a mirror reflecting the soul. That's where he unveils one of his most striking ideas, the anima and animus. These are archetypal images of the opposite gender tucked away in the unconscious. For Jung, every guy carries an anima, a feminine inner essence that's all about emotion and sensitivity, while every woman has an animus, a masculine core that's logical and driven. These aren't just quirks or habits shaped by culture, they're ancient, primal forces. They take shape early on, sparked by our first big emotional bonds, usually with parents. But they're also fed by myths, religion, collective memory, and symbols passed down through generations. Over time, these archetypes morph into emotionally charged blueprints, hidden yet potent frameworks that color how we see others. We carry them around without even knowing it until we meet someone who seems to match them perfectly. And when that happens, it's like a tidal wave hits. You feel this overwhelming pull, a sense of recognition, like you've known this person forever, maybe even before you were born. It's as if it's not just a meeting but a memory waking up, a twist of fate. But Jung steps in with a reality check. This isn't destiny or magic, and it's not proof you're two halves of one soul. It's your own psyche spotting its inner design reflected in someone else. You're not falling for them, exactly. You're falling for an image that's been living inside you all along, an ideal that's found a match in the outside world. That's the second reason. You spark a powerful unconscious image they've been carrying. You're not just a person to them. You become a living echo of something deeply familiar, an inner picture they've held onto for years, maybe their whole life. It's not always about surface stuff like looks or habits. Sometimes it's less about the obvious and more about the essence. Something in you hums in tune with their unconscious blueprint, stirring up intense feelings. You awaken an inner archetype, and that's why the bond feels instant, almost otherworldly. But here's the catch: that feeling isn't really about you. It's about who you become in their inner world, the symbol you bring to life. And that's where the danger sneaks in. When someone falls for the image they've projected onto you, they're not seeing the real you, they're caught up in a fantasy, a sacred idea their unconscious cooked up long before you showed up. You turn into a screen displaying a script written by their mind ages ago. But reality has a way of creeping in eventually. You'll reveal your quirks, your flaws, your messy, human contradictions, and that's when the projection starts to crack. The illusion can't hold up against the truth pouring through. What once felt divine becomes ordinary. The things that dazzled them start raising doubts. Misunderstandings pop up, tensions flare, and soon there's hurt and disappointment. But that's not about you. It's about the collapse of an inner ideal that couldn't stay perched on its pedestal. That's why so many passionate, seemingly meant to be relationships end in chaos. They weren't built on knowing and accepting the real person. They were fueled by an archetypal projection, the unconscious trying to play out its own epic tale in real life. No living person can match an unconscious ideal forever though, because you're not a concept, you're flesh and blood, and reality is always messier than a dream. Still, love isn't just a stumble into chaos, it's a spark for growth. Even with the confusion, pain, and letdowns that projection often drags along, Jung didn't see it as a mistake. He thought it was a vital step on the inner journey. Projection isn't a glitch, it's an invitation to evolve. Love isn't only a feeling, it's a tool for transformation. Every person you fall for holds up a mirror, reflecting pieces of you that have been there all along. Some awaken your buried potential, lighting up creativity or freedom. Others shine a spotlight on deeper fears, maybe anxiety, neediness, or doubt. But they all serve the same unconscious purpose, pushing you toward wholeness, toward what Jung called individuation, becoming your truest self in the fullest sense. When someone falls for you, they might swear they see something extraordinary, and in a way, they're not wrong. It's not really about you as a person, it's about what you stir up inside them. You turn into a symbol, a spark, a psychological turning point that nudges them toward the next chapter of their inner journey. And that brings us to the final piece of this puzzle: love and the self. So why do people fall for you? It's because you either mirror something they desperately crave, or you awaken something they've long buried within themselves. In both cases, love isn't truly about you, it's about their deeper self reaching for wholeness. It's a call, a step in their evolution, a moment of waking up. The same thing happens with you too. You find yourself drawn to people who reflect your own missing pieces. Those who, without even trying, echo the images hiding in the depths of your unconscious. They carry the key to your next stage of growth, whether they know it or not. But here's the kicker: if you don't tune into these hidden patterns, you might get stuck replaying them. You'll keep chasing the same kinds of people, stepping into the same roles, running after the same mirages, hoping each time it'll work out, only to feel let down again. You might start thinking love just isn't in the cards for you, but really, your unconscious is just trying to teach you something. Until you're ready to learn, that lesson will keep circling back. Jung would put it like this: the way out is awareness. Once you start spotting your projections, recognizing those inner archetypes and the scripts that keep looping, you stop looking for someone else to fill your gaps. You begin piecing yourself together from the inside. And that's when love shifts into something different. It's no longer built on illusions, pain, or fear. It turns into something real, steady, grounded, and free. Because, at its core, the truest love isn't about hunting down the perfect partner. It's about coming back to the parts of yourself that have been waiting patiently to be seen and embraced. When you fall for someone, you're not just falling for them, you're falling for the version of yourself they help you uncover. Looking at love through Jung's lens means realizing it's never been only about the other person. It's about you, about your journey back to the real you. So, the next time someone's drawn to you, or you feel that electric tug towards someone else, pause for a second. Ask yourself, what part of my soul is stirring right now? What's waking up in me? Love's a mirror, a guide, a quiet nudge toward becoming whole. Thanks for watching.